Everybody and their mother is talking about co-living.
Fundamentally, when I looked at co-living as a niche,
Yeah.
it's real estate. What are all the positives? All the positives are because the juiced revenue, 7 income streams is better than 1.
Totally.
So the math from an investor standpoint, really good. It is spreadsheet sexy.
Yeah.
It is an operational ugly ass baby.
Yeah.
But my dad told me growing up, there's no free lunch.
Right.
So I approach it that way of like, there's no free lunch in anything. All these real estate investors, when they're talking about the economy is bad and markets are tough, the best operators will always win. But if you're an Airbnb guy, you always win if you're a better operator. If you are a long-term rental guy, you're a better operator.
Yep.
If you and I wanted to get into residential assisted living, the better operators will
Which
always
I do,
win.
yes.
Exactly. Right. That's how I approached co-living. Was like, all right, what's everybody doing?
Everybody and their mother is talking about co-living.
Like, why is it so popular?
They want to buy it. They see the profitability of it.
Bad deals are still bad deals. Why are people struggling?
Honestly, 2025 wasn't a great year for a lot of real estate investors.
Why am I successful? I'm successful because the relationships that I make with the people.
Yeah.
And through that, it's a hospitality based idea. Oh, okay. This is really fun. Mariah Carter, the redheaded investor. We have so many conversations that at the end of every conversation, I'm like, sweet Jesus, I wish we had recorded that.
Yes, I agree.
And there's so much stuff that we talk about that we need to share with people.
Yeah, authenticity too.
Right. And like we're both building new businesses. And I think the idea of like building in public, all of these things are real. But most of the time, the funny stories are the ones that I would hope that people get. Today, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about the fact that everybody and their mother is talking about co-living.
Yeah, right. In what way? Like, why is it so popular?
They want to buy it. They see the profitability of it, but then they're like, wait, I don't know what areas to focus on, like states, counties, towns.
Yeah.
Then when they do find it, how do they fund it? Oh, I know people. Well, honestly, 2025 wasn't a great year for a lot of real estate investors. If you want to go back to
how was your flipping experience? How'd that go? Your flipping experience, how was that in 2025?
I'm going to say it was like a 40-60, 40% okay, 60% not.
It was challenging, right?
It was
really challenging. And you were not even the operator.
No, I was a private money lender.
You were the private money lender.
And now I'm stuck.
Right. And this is one of the things that you and I talk about all the time is it sounds really crazy because I love women investors, especially in the co-living space. I think that they lead the league in empathy. I think they are way more hospitality focused. I think the idea of like leading with heart is great.
Yeah.
When you get under the hood of all of these women investor groups, like empowerment, I get all of it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So if I took away the fact whether you stand up or sit down to pee and you're just an investor, bad deals are still bad deals. Why are people struggling to not understand co-living is great because so many reasons. But the problem is all of these people that are jumping into co-living, they're only reading the headline 2 to 3 times income.
It's clickbait.
Exactly. And none of these people that I speak to actually know somebody else who's doing it.
Or doing it well. I know many people who started and failed.
Yes.
And have pivoted to something else and now they're stuck with a property that they can't get rid of.
Right. Because you're essentially building a Frankenstein house. And it's like you take all of these ideas and you have this little niche and the niche is great. The niche is great for people like me who are coaching on it. Right. The niche is
and
great
do well at it.
Right.
You're not just coaching because you can do it. They say the people who can't teach. You're not one of those people.
Why am I successful? I'm successful because the relationships that I make with the people.
Yeah.
And through that, it's a hospitality based idea. Like my favorite book, if you haven't read it, is Unreasonable Hospitality by Will Guidara.
No, I haven't.
So Will Guidara, it's like a yellow cover. Just get on Audible, put it on.
I'll do Audible.
You know, and just when you're walking, just listen to it. Fundamentally, when I looked at co-living as a niche, it's real estate. What are all the positives? All the positives are because the juiced revenue, 7 income streams is better than 1.
Totally.
So the math from an investor standpoint, really good. It is spreadsheet sexy.
Yeah.
It is an operational ugly ass baby.
Yeah.
But my dad told me growing up, there's no free lunch.
Right.
So I approach it that way of like, there's no free lunch in anything. All these real estate investors, when they're talking about the economy is bad and markets are tough, the best operators will always win. But if you're an Airbnb guy, You always win if you're a better operator. If you are a long-term rental guy, you're a better operator.
Yep.
If you and I wanted to get into residential assisted living, the better operators will
Which I
always
do.
win.
Yes.
Exactly. Right. If I looked at it that way, that's how I approached co-living. Was like, all right, what's everybody doing? What are they not doing? So instead of
Fill in the gaps.
yeah, instead of replicating all the things that they're doing, those just become the baseline. And then
Okay.
how do I add and be additive on top of that? That
Okay.
deep understanding of our niche of who the customer is and then building a business for that. That's the piece that I think a lot of investors miss out on. You get so much education, whether it's from Pace and Jamil and Brandon Turner and all of these big names. They teach you how to acquire a property. What very few teach you to do is how to make money with the property that you acquired. And as an entrepreneur who's like my whole life, I've been an entrepreneur, it's all about the cash flow, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
You talk
It
about it
totally
in
is.
your business. You
Yep.
will not give a loan. Tell me what you said. You will not give a loan?
I will not give a loan if somebody doesn't have money to put into it because I want to only give good debt, operating good debt, not bad debt. So I won't give a loan.
So the loan that you give to has to be something that's going to pay back the loan.
Correct.
Right. Shouldn't that be the way we looked at real estate? Isn't that how all businesses work?
Absolutely. But don't forget, people have that pipe dream. They're like, well, it's going to work because it works for other people. Why can't it work for me? And it's
Hopium.
time
I
to,
call that hopium.
you have some
Hopium
good phrases.
is not a strategy, Mariah.
No, it's
We
not.
know this, right? And
we've lived it.
exactly. But why do we have to experience it every time? Why can't people understand? Charlie Munger is one of my favorite mentors. He doesn't know me, but I know Charlie. We're tight.
I don't know Charlie Munger. Okay.
Charlie Munger. Oh my
I
God.
don't
So
know.
Charlie Munger is the partner of Berkshire Hathaway.
I don't know who that is either. Hathaway, the real estate guy? Hathaway?
Seriously?
Listen.
Who's the most famous investor in the world?
Oh, God, the old guy. Well, they're all old guys, but
That old guy, what's his name? Warren Buffett.
yeah, Warren Buffett. Thank you.
Warren Buffett's right hand man for 95 years
Yeah.
was Charlie Munger.
Okay. I did not know this.
You should go just watch Instagram clips and just take little clips. You know what Charlie Munger's business strategy is?
What?
It is not to be the most innovative company. It is to run your business so that you make decisions that keep your business from dying.
Such a good play. Yes.
Avoid the decisions that make your business die.
Yeah.
It's a long game.
Yeah,
Businesses survive when they survive.
Yeah. Agreed.
Stay in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just identifying certain pockets in my business where I was focusing on one angle and then I saw a more lucrative angle. But the lucrative angle takes more time.
Mm-hmm.
So there are months I didn't get paid because I had to wait. I'm like, crap, I can't forget about the other thing that paid me faster. So that fills a gap while I work on the longer game that's more profitable.
Yeah.
That was something I didn't know till I knew it. It's
okay. Take that same philosophy.
Yep.
Apply it to co-living. I'll tell you exactly. So that same strategy is a tried and true strategy. You can buy different level houses in co-living for different goals and assets. It's not one flavor fits all.
Right.
And this is what I've learned through 5 years of talking with hundreds of investors around what's your strategy and why?
Yeah.
You just take these little deposits of nuggets that people talk about. What I learned from my boy in Kansas City, he's a fix and flipper buy and holder. He had a portfolio of lower B minus, C minus properties. Okay. And they were single family rentals.
And when you say that, let's define that. That means where they're located, not the criteria of the living itself.
A little bit of both, isn't it?
It's a little bit of both, but I just want to say it's not because you put lipstick on a pig. It's also the location.
Yeah.
How viable is it to walking and all that, all the criteria.
Real estate investors will categorize houses A, B, C, D.
Correct.
Right. And it's just kind of, I think it essentially ties back to your customer who's going to pay you. Is it low income? That's kind of like D and C. Is it like a up and coming neighborhood? That's between C and B. Is it where private schools?
Yes.
Ubers, Lululemon, that's A. It's like in every city you have an A area. I don't care if it's Detroit or whether it's Atlanta.
And even though real estate agents by law can't say anything, we all know these neighborhoods exist. And you just have to.
Yeah, exactly. And the beauty about real estate, everything's mathematical. So they put a price tag on it. Yeah. I buy houses in B minus neighborhoods with the potential for that area appreciating to A or A minus B plus, because I, as a real estate investor, want appreciation.
Correct.
Most real estate investors in our space, they pencil deals that are really, really cheap. And they're like, this is going to be great. I bought this house at $100,000.
I've got individuals I'm talking to right now.
Yeah.
In areas that lenders won't even lend in.
Okay, so much of that is like the real estate investment side, and
Yeah.
we can talk about so many different things, but
I know.
one of the I'm gonna drop some nuggets in here for people to think about.
Okay.
If your daughter if you're gonna do co-living and you're gonna buy this house, it's such a great deal, and I always make fun of my California people because the California investors that come to Atlanta or come to Charlotte or
Mhm.
come to the Sun Belt, they're like, "Oh my god, I can buy a house for 200,000," and they're like, "It's such a discount from LA or
Right.
such a discount from Northern California or Seattle or Portland or whatever
It's
the case may
sticker
be."
shock in a different realm.
Everything east of the Sierras is on sale for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
Totally.
they come in here and they're like, "Oh my God, look what I can buy." But they
Right.
don't know the local real estate.
Mhm.
So my suggestion to them is like, "Hey, this realtor that's trying to push you this deal, have him or her drive their ass to the house at 9 o'clock on a Saturday, open all
Yep.
their windows and call you. If they're
Yeah.
not scared, terrified, or like pissing their pants, like you can go buy the house. Because essentially, your end product that you're going to put on as a co-living property,
Yep.
somebody's got to rent the house and pay you money.
Yep.
And if they're not going to live there because they're terrified, and the
Mhm.
realtor who's not living there is just sitting there for 30 minutes and calling you, why would you ever invest in that house when your end customer would never want to be there?
Exactly.
But comma, why would the realtor sell you that property? Because they're
'Cause they
not
want the commission.
married. Exactly. They're not
They want
married
the
to you.
commission. They don't wanna have so many losses on their record because real estate agents have a criteria they have to uphold. And if they are like, I have to be honest, I am, a leader of a women's business group. It's like a BNI for just women. I'm sorry, but if you're a non-productive business person, how the hell are you gonna help these other businesses grow if you don't have a good record? So same thing with a realtor. You're gonna vet these realtors. You're gonna sell or work with a realtor that isn't worth their salt. They're not gonna close the deal. They're not gonna get you the right property to get you the right deal.
Yeah.
So, and if they have a big goose egg on their record being a real estate agent for the last 2 years, I don't wanna work with them. They're not gonna help me.
No, it's not transactional flow. Like in every business I've ever been in, I learned it really early. I marry my customers, I don't date them. Same thing for the
Well, you date them at
customers.
first until they become your customer.
Okay,
You do a little dating first,
okay. But then
and
when I
then
start
you make a
working with
promise
them,
ring. What?
when I start working with them,
Yeah.
it's a relationship that will
Yes.
extend. Whether our transaction ends, I still have a relationship with a ton of customers.
Yeah.
Like I was walking the other night with my daughter. We were coming from dinner and my wife, and some random guy walks by with his daughter, and he's like, "Quentin." I'm like, "Tom," and he literally owned a catering company that I had
Mhm.
serviced for 10 years. I
Mhm.
sold my business, hadn't seen Tom in 7 years. He's like, "Quentin." I'm like, "Tom, what's up,
You
buddy?"
you are rememberable.
Yeah, exactly. But the reality of it is like you build relationships with people and businesses are built on relationships. Like
Yes.
if there's anything real estate has really taught me is that it is not a solo game. I've
$1,000%.
never met a real estate person who's successful that is a solo preneur. Like they
Right.
can have a business, but they have network, you
Absolutely.
know?
Well, they say your network is your net worth,
Absolutely
or
all
is it
day
the other
long.
way around? Your
No,
net
your
worth is your
network.
network?
Show me your network. I'll show you your net worth.
Yeah.
And these things are sayings that are time tested.
Yeah.
I preach that to my kids all the time. Like, you go
Yeah.
to college, well, your first job is to get invited back. So try not to do anything stupid. But the second part about it is like you're being taught subjects by people who really haven't done the business in however many years. So it's
Yep.
not really about the book education. It's about the mechanics of you learning how to do crap you didn't want to do on a schedule that somebody else sets. That's one of the big things that you learn about college.
That's a good one.
But the value of college in the real world is the network you create. Your first
Yes.
job, if it's worth a salt, is because your buddy that's in your fraternity, his dad is a partner at Goldman Sachs, and your name gets bumped up on the internship list.
Yep.
Because if you applied through LinkedIn, you're just another number.
1,000%.
When people talk about off-market deals, where do they come from? Right?
Somebody you know.
Exactly. It's like it's
Yes,
your
such a good
network.
point. You know, I have to tell you, I give kudos to my friend's daughter. She wanted to join a sorority. It was extra money for her dad. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And her instant response was, "I'm trying to network it for my future. I'm
It's
gonna know these women are gonna be in business, and I'm like, "Okay, that's fish." That was her sales pitch to her father, so she can get at the sorority. I'm like,
justify it, but that's a rational
"Smart."
justification. It
Totally.
is not because I want to go to more formals and I need to
Exactly.
wear more dresses and I wanna dance on some
Right.
hip TikTok thing. Like,
Yeah.
those are all the added benefits, right?
Yes.
And memories are created, but relationships are generated that last a lifetime.
Yep. That is very, very true. And even if you go into your first job or like your first real estate deal, you're always going to be bonded forever. It is a very bonding experience, just like it is. That's a very good point. But I will tell you, when I started my journey 3 years ago, a lot of women wanted to be in partner with each other because they're very emotional. Oh, you have the same vision I have. Even I had that partnership.
Mhm.
And there was about almost a 15-year difference between me and my partner. And then our goals shifted because I'm now 50 and she's in her early 30s. She's a new mom. I am not a mom. Yes, thank you. I made half a century.
I made it.
Um,
We are the
but
last great generation, just so we know.
I actually agree with you on
I'm
this
a
one because
50. Like, think about this. Did you have a phone with a really long cord that was in the
yes,
kitchen wall and you
I know
took
how
it
to read
into a
cursive.
closet? I had phone numbers that had letters. Do you wanna play this game?
Okay.
Grandma, VE68354.
I don't, yeah, that no. But yes, I think we are the last great generation
You know what
because we
this
built a
is
lot of
on a
things.
TV? Did you ever do this move?
Oh yeah. 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 So great. We knew VHS tapes, yada
Yeah.
yada. Like everything that's vintage now was like we grew up with it. So it's funny. I used to have a corded phone, a silver one on the wall behind me when I would do calls on I had a tech job, and my distributors would be like, "Is that a real phone?" I'm like, "Oh yes, it operates." And I
Yeah.
pull it off and like listen to the tone. Boop, boop, boop. And my
Ex
friends came over and they show their kids. They're like, "Kids, it's an actual phone, not in a museum." I'm like, "Yes, I got it at Best Buy."
Yeah. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Massachusetts.
Okay. In, like, Boston, Massachusetts, or in the suburb of?
Suburbs. My
Oh,
parents grew up in the city, and they did not raise us in the city.
got it. Got it. That's called elevation. I grew up in the city of Philadelphia. I'm a city kid, right?
Yeah.
Concrete jungle. My kids grew up in the South.
Oh,
My son, his senior year, leans over to me and goes, I don't know how to tell mom, but I'm a redneck. And I was like, oh my God. Like, as he's sitting there with his white t-shirt, his cowboy boots, a big buckle, and a hat as he's going out with his buddies, and I'm like laughing. My childhood as a city kid, a little bit of a hood rat, and street smart versus what I raised my kid in. So I had to come to a realization of like, he's not me.
yeah.
He is a byproduct of the experiences that we raised him in the suburbs, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's country music listening. He's a redneck, you know what I mean? And it just makes me laugh because now he's in Arizona State and they're like, "You're what? You're half Korean, you're half Jewish he went to Seder last night at Chabad." I was like, "Atta boy, make mom proud." And then he literally rocks out big ass cowboy boots and a hat. And
I
it
love it.
just cracks me up because
It's the melting pot of our country.
it is. He just leans into it. He's like, "I am what I am. Take it or leave it," you know?
I absolutely love that. But that's what we need to bring also is our authenticity in real estate. Now, the other thing we need to talk about real quick is there are nefarious characters. Most people don't know, and they're trying to pitch you a story that they do
Yeah.
know. That's why you have to do some deeper digging. But there
Yeah.
are some characters out there that have knowingly taken money from people. So I've even fallen, I'm gonna call it victim of this, but I live with emotion and paperwork. No one likes to sign paperwork. No one likes to read paperwork. I mean,
Right.
how many times do you get your cell phone bill? Yes, I have an Android, Winton, but I still don't want to read the paperwork and sign it, right? But I know fundamentally what's in there. But if you do enough real estate, you get promissory notes, JV agreements, operating agreements, like stuff like that. PMP, PML, you throw out all those acronyms.
Yeah.
What does that really mean as a new time lender? It means get a
Like a
lawyer.
private money lender, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it just means go and have it reviewed, to even ChatGPT it. Double check what your securities are in that. But so many people have just signed the dotted line, gave away their money. I've even been at fault. Full disclosure. I wired money before I signed anything.
Mm.
I was able to stop the wire,
Yeah.
but my business partner at the time was like, "What are you doing?
You know
You
what
didn't
that
sign
is?
anything yet." I'm like, "Oh, I trust that person. It's fine."
You know
No,
what that
it's
is?
not.
It's
Blind faith.
FOMO.
I guess it was. I
There
had the
is
money and I wanted to get out as fast as possible and get it operating.
you wanna get in the game,
I
right?
wanted to get in the game big time,
I
and it bit me in the ass.
I cannot tell you how many I'm gonna be more specific, how many investors, but how many first-time women investors fall prey to that. But to your point, FOMO is if I were to have to say what is the number one killer for new investors, it's that.
It's totally FOMO. I'm in rooms filled with thousands of people with FOMO,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And
they're
the
willing to give their last dollar.
yeah, and the
Like,
thing
I'm on calls right now with the truck route investment. This is truck routes. Apparently, for the trucks that deliver all of our Amazon packages,
mhm,
those roads had to be maintained.
mhm.
So, those trucks that need to use those roads need to pay for those, but those companies like Amazon doesn't want to pay for it. So they
Mhm.
get people like us who will invest like accredited investors. So we did this. Could
Time
you
out. Are you
tear up
financing the route or are you financing the roads?
the routes? I guess it
Okay.
was routes. It's the routes.
Okay.
And we're now on a call, and I'm hearing people on the call going, I may have to file bankruptcy. I put in my last dollars. Like, if I could give any guidance to any lender, someone who wants to be in the game, don't put in your last dollar. Don't put in money that
No.
you can't have for the
That's
next
kind of
year.
gambling.
It totally is gambling.
Yeah.
And I'm a high risk, high reward kind of investor. And I did proper vetting, to be honest. All right, I'm going to give a tip. Sometimes there'll be people who are great at raising capital, prove themselves well to their investors for the first year. Come year two, default.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they'll do it as a game. They'll make it right the first year. So they get more people involved. They bring their buddies, more capital's raised. And then all of a sudden they default
Okay.
and there's no
Just
recourse.
that methodology is not new. I have
I know
friends
it's not. It's just new to me.
I have friends that are owners of nail salons. It's about a 5-year, half-life. At
Yeah.
about 5 years, they bankrupt that one and they start a new company,
Yeah.
new
Yep.
owner, new and then they just rinse and repeat over and over again. Like, this is the nuanced stuff where new people don't know. So
Yeah.
the calloused people,
Yeah.
they know, right? And it's like,
Right.
if you ever meet a successful real estate investor that has large portfolios, but time under duress, like time of being in the business,
Yeah.
those are the ones that you want to have coffee with. Those are
Yeah.
the ones that you want to have in your back pocket. Like, that's a mentor. I have imposter syndrome at times because I'm like, listen, I don't have 50 million doors or a million, $10 million in assets under thing. I just have 15,000 hours of
Yeah.
conversations.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I went to essentially a master's degree in real estate education because I am so OCD about it. Like, if you and I met, you would get so tired of the questions I asked. Like, again, I'm going to go back to my man Charlie Munger, and Warren Buffett. People would pay them $250,000 to have lunch.
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
That
and
would
then
be like almost like meeting the Pope.
okay, so the problem that those people paying the $250,000, you know what they learned? Nothing from Charlie and Warren Buffett, because Charlie and Warren would spend that 2-hour lunch asking questions about their business.
Oh,
Mariah, tell me about lending. Tell me about the people that you're working with. What should I avoid? Their whole world is seeking information from others. I love that mentality. Like, absorb everybody else's lessons so that when you
yeah.
start doing it on your own, you just avoid the big things that are going to screw you.
So you're learning from other people's mistakes.
Why wouldn't you? Why do you want to
Yeah, that's
repeat
great.
and get a tree branch hit you in the face if you can avoid it?
And if you're listening to people of that caliber and they who admit that there's mistakes, right? Well, actually, no, you're sharing your mistakes with those people of that high caliber.
They're asking just in case they wanted to get
And
into
so
the
they
lending
educate.
business.
Yeah. But you could flip it and do the same thing with other people where you
That's
want to
it.
avoid mistakes. I actually have met a lot of people who are like that young kid who's like 18, maybe 19 years old, want to do
Yeah.
wholesaling, and they are like a sponge. They want to listen to all the people who've done the fix and flips and the lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, whatever. And you can tell they're soaking it in and they're going to avoid that. So they're doing the smart way, like you're talking
Mhm.
about. They're
Mhm.
taking it, learning it, and maybe it takes a little bit longer for them to get to that level of financial success. I don't want to use the term success meaning like only financial,
How about
because you could be
productivity?
successful.
Get to
Productivity,
productivity. Get to
but even
productivity.
if your education of these life challenges, that's success. So
Yeah.
that's helping you avoid. You'll find new failures though. There'll be new
If you're
failures,
not, then you're not progressing.
right?
It looks never like this.
Yeah.
It looks like
You
this.
totally. Yes.
Because you master something, and then all of a sudden, as you get into a next level, you're the bottom of that next level.
Yep.
And then you keep grinding and you reach the next pinnacle. But it
Yep.
eventually, if I sloped it out, it would look like this, or maybe a
Yep.
little bit less. But it's a series of up and downs
Yeah.
as I keep trying to improve.
That's true.
Nobody is born into real estate. Like, they're not. First
That is,
generation makes it, second
and then the
generation
second.
makes it great, third
Yeah.
generation loses it.
Correct. So I can't
It's just
say that, second generation is just like trust fund babies, whatever. You do it, like they've got work ethic and they can grow up, make it better.
they've
Yeah.
seen it in place.
Yeah.
My challenge with my kids was they did not understand. Oh my God. I'll tell you the greatest. My challenge was like, how do I instill want to and desire and grit into somebody who was never hungry, who was
Mhm.
never in wanting something. He needed it. There's a difference between want and need. And my wife and I
Totally.
constantly fought over that because I'm like, how do we give these people enough drive to go get their own shit without sitting back and be like expecting it?
Yeah.
The greatest comment. My son came home and it was near the end of the summer, his freshman year. We were just sitting by my fire pit having a drink and we're just asking him, I'm like, hey, like real talk. What did you learn your freshman year? And he thought about it. I'm like, give me something new that you learned. He goes, Bud. He goes, bro, I learned what broke felt like. And I almost peed my pants, Mariah.
Oh my God.
I was like, if that's not the greatest lesson that I can give you at a college, he's like, yeah. And he's like, I always appreciated you guys gave me money. He just goes, but my God, I was broke a lot, And I was like, well, that's reality, pal,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was such a funny conversation because I did not expect to hear that.
I get a question for you about this co-living like adventure because
Oh,
so many
let's go.
people
Let's go.
so there's two topics that come up. I'm sorry, the broke thing kind of triggered me to think this way
Mhm,
and that's this question. Co-living and RV parks.
mhm.
Those are the two biggest things right now. There's certain personality types, and when you dig into it, there's a person that invests in it, there's people that operate it.
Yes.
Is there something that you are able to coach on for people to help them identify so they don't go down, "Oh, I can operate this," and then they really realize they're not a good operator, and it's not a bad thing. You just gotta find the person that can operate it, who you jive with and is ethical just like you are, whatever.
Okay.
Do you help people identify that?
No, I don't know if that's necessarily ingrained in somebody because, again, I wasn't a co-living operator. I learned the business. So it's like there was nothing inherent in me that changed that is different than you. You could learn how to be an operator.
Right, but there's something about what you did before that can
Okay,
carry
that's
over
that's
into
that's a
this.
different statement. I had the capacity in the world where I could be in a boardroom talking to C-level,
Yeah.
or I could be behind a deli counter talking to a deli associate. I think people who ever worked in restaurants really understand this model, or hotels, or hospitality
Service
in general.
industry. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
because service is what you give. Hospitality is how you make people feel. In our world, if people wanted to get into co-living and did not understand that the baseline of our business is hospitality,
Mm.
Red Roof Inn is hospitality, and so is the JW Marriott. And
Yes.
and like even like I like analogies a lot.
Yeah, me too.
If I travel for a hockey tournament, we stay at the Hampton Inn because it's cheap, right?
Yeah.
Or if it's the Courtyard or whatever. But if I'm traveling with my wife on vacation, it may be an elevated product.
Yes, yes. It's all about your experience while you're in the room. When you're traveling for a purpose like that, besides the wife, right? You're just
Mhm.
sleeping there. You don't need to
Right.
be all awesome. But with your wife, you want a nice experience.
So the majority of people that do co-living view it as a commodity. It's a
Okay.
necessity for people to have a roof over their head.
Yes, it's
The
true.
way the way I approach co-living is okay, that being all the same, the customer that I want to interact with,
Yeah.
maybe they don't want Uber shared. Maybe they want Uber regular or they want an Uber Black experience.
Yes, you like your Uber analogy.
Right, because
Yeah.
it's like people understand it, they've experienced it, right?
Totally fair. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
fundamentally for me, all of these different levels of co-living can exist in the world. They just do, right?
Yeah.
And now it's the limitations may be how do you market it to that group or how do you actually operate it
Yeah.
to attract more of those people? And then you start realizing like Uber share people don't really interact really well with Uber Black people. Like that's the operational side of the business. It's not one size fits all. So getting back to your
True.
original question is like what makes somebody an operator or what makes somebody a
Yeah.
good fit? Should you play in this space? Do you care about the customers and the customer experience? And if you
Mhm.
do, you have to understand what experience that you're doing because you can't be all things to all people. Like these lessons are
True.
just normal business lessons.
Yep.
If I wanted a
True.
business loan and I went to JP Morgan, it's different than going to Cabbage or On Deck. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Like they serve two different populations of people.
Yep.
So the services and everything is a little bit different. Every business is like that, and co-living is no different. RV parks, shared housing, it's no different.
Yeah.
If you can understand, hey, this is the kind of business I want to run. Does it fit in that model? Because
Right.
I have investors that come to me that are Airbnb investors with $1 million houses, and they're like, I want to put this on co-living because my Airbnb just got outlawed in my state.
Right.
And I'm like, "'Cause that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody gonna pay $800 a week for a shared housing. That's
Yeah.
not the demographic we reach out to. So
Yeah.
you have to understand that there's some limitations, and, like,
Yeah.
the evidence is in front of you. There's 30,000 rooms that are available on just one platform. So how are the good investors doing it?
Yeah.
Like, why are we trying to reinvent the wheel? Don't.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
figure out where the opportunities to if I wanted to just rent $80,000, like, there's a guy I follow that does Section 8 housing. He's
Yeah.
buying $40,000 homes. That's a demographic that I don't necessarily wanna play in, but that business is real. He's making it work.
Totally. Yeah, there can be a business there, yeah.
All you need to do is look at what other people that are successfully doing it, either replicate them if they're worth replicating or enhance on top of them if their
Yep.
opportunities exist.
Yep, 1,000%, yeah.
That's the best way to kinda understand it. Like, if you're a PML, don't ever invest in somebody who's new to the same operations that you do, because you 2 are gonna look at each other and ask the same goddamn questions.
I have to tell you, I've just been on calls this week with a bunch of ladies. They just joined this women's investor network, and that was the first thing they took away from it. But I will tell you, 3 years ago when I started, a lot of ladies were like, "We'll learn together,
We'll do it together. We'll lose
and
money
we'll"
together.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, one person's the money and one person's not, and then all of a sudden there's infighting and, like, yada yada, and it's like,
Yeah.
you don't really wanna start like, you bond on a different level. It's a bond of, like, "I don't ever wanna work with you again."
No, but, like, that relationship is so fragile because it's
Yeah,
based on a possible future hopes, right?
yeah,
If you both have the same goal, then find a third partner who's the true operator to learn from and apprentice from.
right.
Like, one of the things that I offer in my coaching is you then get attached to my portfolio. So
Mhm.
while you're learning, you actually see the same crap that I see,
Yeah,
because until you're in it, you never actually
you
get
don't.
it.
Yeah, you
You know,
don't.
in most businesses, if I'm trying to sell you, I'm only showing you the best parts. 2 to
Yeah.
3 times income. Like,
Oh, of course.
my gross income, I just had this call with my mastermind last night, and they were like, "Yeah, if I was a brand new investor, I would just go ahead and tell myself, don't expect any net flow income for 6 months, because you as the operator are trying to shake
Yep,
out the house and trying to figure out what it is." So there's CapEx costs,
yep,
HVAC costs, plumbing costs, like things that you would have never factored in.
correct.
And then the second part is you have no idea how to deal with the members and your customers because it's your first
Yeah.
iteration. So
Yep,
now
yep,
you're working on your calluses about, like, what do I say yes to? What do I say no to? And what impact does it have on my revenue?
yeah.
And the third part is like, oh my God, I'm a business owner. How do I manage my P&L? How do I manage my cash flow? All of
Totally.
these things, like,
Yep,
can you defer maintenance over here? Do you really have to go and buy that on Amazon today? These are all of your learnings.
yep,
So
yep,
you can wait 6 months and learn it, 9 months and learn it on your own and lose a lot of money, or you can work with somebody and speed it up. So when people are like,
yeah,
what's the value of your coaching? Listen, buddy, Mariah, you, if you wanted to do it yourself, you're smart. You've made enough money to become a real estate investor. You'll figure it out.
yeah.
But
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not 9 months.
No.
And you may make 1 or 2 mistakes
Mhm.
where the neighborhood that you choose, like, a real story. We got a complaint from the neighbor about an existing PadSplit. The
Mhm.
neighbor was the father of the goddamn mayor. Like,
What?
so
You can't make
again,
that up.
they shut the house down. So
Mm.
your $400,000 investment just got wiped to 0. Just
Yeah.
avoid the pitfalls, right? So it's like you work with somebody that helps you keep your business alive until it's old enough to be healthy and self-sustaining. Think about it. Like, my best advice I ever got from my best friend who's 10 years older than me. My son was born and he said, "I know you're stressed out. Your only job is to keep it alive for 2 years."
Yes.
He goes, "Trust me." He goes, "Whatever kind of parenting you do, they don't even understand what you're doing." He goes, "They walk at what did they say? They walk
True.
at 1 and they talk at 2."
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So he's like,
That's
"Just
true.
keep it alive." And it just
Still alive.
reduced all of this stress of, "Oh my God, I'm gonna ruin this kid. He's gonna go to therapy for the rest of his life." No, just keep it alive, and I live by this. I tell every new parent that I meet, keep it alive for 2 years and you can start parenting from 2 until 12. Only thing that you're hoping to do is that when they're after 12 years old, when they come to a crossroads, the loudest voice in their head should be yours when they think about a decision. If you've
Mhm.
done that, he goes, "That's good parenting." I've lived by that. My kids are not in jail. They're not pregnant. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a win. Like, I'm winning the parenting battle, you know?
That's awesome. I'm
So
proud of you.
so getting back to the business part that we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
This is really why we're doing this conversations is if you're a new person, you need to hear all of these other people's mistakes
Yeah.
because you will find yourself in the front end of, "Oh my God, that sounds like me."
Yep.
I don't want that end result. How do I avoid that?
And people shouldn't be ashamed to share their mistake.
You're
Now, some
brand
people
freaking new. What'd you expect? That you were going to be a master Formula One driver when you just started driving a go-kart? Like,
there are so many people that, again, they want to have this impression with people that I know what I'm doing. I've taken the right mentorships, the right coaching, blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
But coaching can only get you so far. You have to make decisions on yourself. You can't always like,
Dial it, buddy. Yeah.
yeah, no, you have to make decisions for yourself. I will say this as a side note real quick. When it comes to what I've been trying to do the last 3 years, when I excelled in my W-2 career and got to a point where I was making money that I
Buku
never thought
bucks. I've seen your backyard. Buku bucks.
dude, I was the breadwinner, like, no problem. I suffered from imposter syndrome, and I don't know if it's a real thing. I was
Oh, it's
just like,
real.
but I've always felt this way my whole life is like fake it till you make it kind of thing. But I was really feeling it with this one. I went from like being a workhorse, making a fraction of what I was getting paid now. I'm like, wait, you guys want to promise me this? Then I thought, was I a DEI hire? I'm a woman. I'm a woman in the group. I don't hate to say it, but I was just like, there was no girls. So I get on there. I'm like, oh crap. I've been through this before. And then come to find out, I'm actually really good at what I do. So I was like, okay, this is kind of, and I still, by the time I ended my career there, I'm like, I guess I'm really freaking good at what I do. So now that I've gone to this entrepreneurial journey and like have had so many different challenges I never thought I'd ever come across, I have zero imposter syndrome. Zero. Now I know what I know. And if I don't know something, I'll obviously figure it out. And it's not bad that I don't know it. Just own up to it. And then like that shares, I believe, your authenticity to people. And if people don't want to invest in you, that's on them. But the
Yeah.
fact is, you're a good person. If you're like, I'm wanting to invest your money in an honest project that I vetted and I feel good about this one, I wouldn't bring your money into it if I didn't think it was. That means something, especially if I'm new. It's
Yeah.
risk. It's added risk in trusting in a person, but there's less people like us wanting to do good by the people we meet versus, I hate to say it, versus people that are nefarious or don't know anything or are too afraid to say that they don't know it.
Yeah.
And therefore they turn into the bad guy or bad gal.
It's funny you say this. I'm new to coaching, I'm half a 3/4 of a year into it with my first couple cohorts. The new investors that are W-2 transitioned into entrepreneurs. I am 95% psychologist, psychiatrist, 5% coach.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
ultimately what it boils down to in the beginning is a mindset change. Like I used to hear all these
Yeah.
other people talk about. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I called my buddy. I don't know if you know Henry Washington. He's on Bigger Pockets.
Yes.
Big dude.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
called him and he and I are friends. And like, it's funny. I'm a huge fan of his wife, Jessica. She's mad dope. And then
Okay.
Henry was like a +1, And I'm like, she's like, have you met my husband? And I was like, no, who's that? And she goes, him. I was like, oh, I know who he is. I love that family. I think they're just super dope people.
Yeah.
But I called him and I was like, Henry, I started this coaching thing. I was like, bro, why didn't you tell me I need to become a psychiatrist? He goes, oh, I should have warned you.
It's true. I do a lot of therapy on my calls, a lot of therapy.
And the thing is, like, what you said is so real. I'm like, if you can afford to buy real estate, you're dope at your job.
Yeah.
You did like levels of success. The only thing that I always talk about with my guys is like, you need to get comfortable with FITFO. Figure it the fuck out. That's the definitive change and difference between an entrepreneur and somebody else. When you get to the point you're like, hands up, you're like, bring it. What's next?
Yeah.
Because you just knocked out the last problem.
Yeah.
Whether it's ideal or not,
Yeah.
you kind of found a solution.
Yeah.
And the more iterations you have, you find a first tier solution, a second tier solution, and a third tier solution.
Yeah.
So next time it comes up, you're like, all right, I have a baseline way of answering that. And now I'm going to try to enhance it and optimize. Boom. Knock it out. Next problem comes up. You have these deposits of confidence that I will figure it out. As long as I just keep in my mind that I'm trying to keep my business alive, you will figure it out. It's when you have somebody who sticks their head in the sand, hoping that somebody else will figure it out. That's when deals die.
Amazing. But anyway, so again, the whole like you figure it out. Those people are quite tenacious. And that should be a word that people either know how to spell and know what it means and learn how to do it.
Yeah. So in my house, it's called grit. There's certain characteristic traits in my family like that we tried to impart. Grit was one of them. But then we have a family motto, like it's all over my house. It says, squeeze the juice. Like every one of my friends knows that our family motto is squeeze the juice. And we came to that from this idea that like when they were young, if you're going to do something, get in there, do all of it.
Yeah.
As they got older, we had to put a comma. You need to ask yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze?
Ah, that's a good one. Yeah.
So, but in the beginning, it got us over the fear of half-assing it.
Yep.
Buddy, you committed to do it, to go all in, you know? And then as I got older and they were making like stupid decisions, we had to impart before you do it, is the juice worth the squeeze? Like I hear it from my kids, I hear it from my wife. You know, I thought I was gonna do this, but you know, I decided against it. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it rings true.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
But
it's
all
good.
these lessons are business lessons. Like I
Yeah.
didn't
I was
learn
just
this
gonna
on my
say,
own.
you're teaching, like, I don't have children. You have children. You're
Yeah.
successful at raising children. I am not. I have a dog. I've kept them alone. 2 dogs in my life to the age of 13. Hopefully, this one makes it to 15. She's a 10
Yeah.
right now, so I'm hoping. But what you're doing with your children is what you can do with your students,
That's it.
or
Same exact.
and
Same
I'm
exact.
hoping to do, like, everyone told me I'd be make a great mom. It would just wasn't my lot in life, but I do have my, like, surrogate children that come to me, which is nice, but I actually can use that skill set, I believe it's a skill set, where I can help people understand, like, I'm on a mission myself to help anybody. I don't care what socioeconomic level you are
Yeah.
intelligent enough to figure this stuff out.
Yeah.
If you are driven for it, you just need to take the time and learn it, and listen to people like you and me who've done it, failed, gotten back up, and done it again.
It doesn't even have to be you and me, but
No, just
the message should resonate.
yeah,
If you like and find affinity to that idea, there
yeah,
are 5 million people that are like you and I talking about the same thing. Just change your
absolutely.
proximity. Like when we talk about network and net
Yes.
worth, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I see it if you get into co-living and start investing and then start building relationships with your customer base, the uplifting stories you get from somebody. So in our world, it is really workforce housing. Like
Yep,
that's the
that's true.
core, right?
It is.
I have certain things that I look for in characteristics for my customers that de-risk my operating business.
Mhm.
I want to make money. I'm not in this like the mission is secondary to the fact that
Yes.
like this business has to be profitable.
Yeah.
And like the people who are like, "Oh, I do it for the mission." I'm like, "You must be like really a philanthropist because you're a terrible operator who hasn't made any money." It doesn't make any sense to me. Like
Right.
everybody who says they lead with the mission, like you're full of shit.
No,
Like, let's
it
be
sounds fun.
realistic. You come
Yeah.
here because it's appealing to you,
Yeah.
but it's still a business. Run the
Yeah.
damn business. And the thing that you don't realize is the better you are as an operator, the more affordable housing you put onto the market, the
Mhm.
more lives you actually impact.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's not fool ourselves why we're here. Okay. So
Yeah.
for all your
That's true.
PMLs in the world, people work with me because they want to make money. The byproduct is you get more affordable housing. So let's make sure we put the cart and put the cart before the horse. And that's the real talk about it is like run it like a business. You're going to make really hard decisions sometimes. But at the end of the day, if your business survives, the product that you offer
Yeah.
is really good for society.
Yeah.
So
And right
this,
now,
yeah,
where we're going with our society is workforce housing. It's
economy or society, both.
it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. I'll
Like,
tell you,
yeah, go
you
ahead.
have to keep macros in mind. Like, do you feel $4 gas? Do you
Do I
feel it?
what?
Do you
Do I feel it?
feel the
No.
impact of $4 gas?
Not yet. I use a discount gas thing, so I was
You're at
$3.99,
Costco?
I paid $3.29. But
Yeah.
still, I watch gas prices all the time. My best friend thinks I'm crazy. I will drive further for the cheapest gas I can get. I
Yeah.
don't care if it's cheap, cheap gas. I will pay less. But yeah,
Imagine
$4 gas is not happening yet, but it's here.
Imagine in Georgia, it was $2.99 a month ago. It's now th
2.99 a month ago?
yeah, it's $3.99 now. So, that's for a normal 17 let's say 20-gallon tank, right? It's an
Yeah,
additional 20 bucks
yeah,
that came out of your pocket. If you
yep,
average 20 bucks an hour, that's an additional hour that you work that just went to filling your gas tank.
yeah, oh, yeah,
So you
yep,
people want to talk about real tax and they talk about life tax. Like in our world where my customers are hourly employees between 18 and 30 bucks an hour, that's a real hit,
it's a real
right?
hit,
So
mhm,
if you in the scale of customers, if you are appealing to the lowest one that is 10 to 12 bucks an hour, that's a real
mhm,
problem.
yeah,
And like they don't have a car, so they got to pay for Uber. The Uber costs went up. Your first 2 hours of work are paying for your transportation back and forth. Like this is how deep I get in terms of understanding the psychology and the economic impact of my customers. So then I
yeah,
reverse engineer into the business that I've run.
that's great.
In my world, I choose to go a little bit higher. So again, analogy, dollar
Right,
store,
yep,
Walmart,
yep,
Target, right?
yeah,
I want to be in between Walmart and
right,
Target.
Target, yeah,
I want
yeah,
somebody who's opting out of an apartment complex, paying 1,800 bucks in utilities,
yep,
into my house at 1,200 bucks, and there's a $600 real savings
yes,
because I view and operate my business like hospitality. But hospitality in my world is how can I transition from price to value? Can I ask you, when you work out, do you wear Lulu?
No,
Do you wear Aloe?
no, I don't know any of those things.
You don't know these things?
I go to Target or Navy, Old Navy.
Okay. Do you
I
get
try to stretch
value?
my dollars. Huh?
Okay. So I wear t-shirts all the time.
Yeah.
Just my wife thinks it's ridiculous. You cannot wear just a plain old t-shirt when we go out to dinner. I'm like,
Oh,
I kind
no.
of can.
Yeah.
But she hates it. So I buy my t-shirts at Goodfellows at Target, the
Okay.
greatest t-shirt ever. And since I went from fat to skinnier, I'm like wearing a solid schmedium, baby. Like I'm
Okay,
like,
that's a different topic for us to talk about.
right.
Okay,
We'll
good.
get that on that a whole
I
different
need to
topic.
lose weight, but go ahead.
But the whole conversation is like value.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think in any business that I've ever been a part of, value is real. If I
Value is
can get
absolutely real.
people and customers that actually start talking about the value that they get at my house, that
Mhm.
stickiness and tenure and consistency, and
Yep.
operationally, it reduces a ton of operational overhead.
Right.
So turnover costs, people coming in, people coming out in a shared housing environment. If there's 7, 8 of you in a house, like one bad apple can ruin the whole apple cart.
Totally.
People ask me like, "Oh, but what you do is unscalable." I'm like, "Is it really?"
Well, wait a minute. Just think about this. When I got out of college, I had roommates. I rent by the room. I rented by the room. Everything
Absolutely. Absolutely.
until I
It
got
was
ready
age
for placement
appropriate accordingly. Somehow people
in
think
your
that was
20s.
age appropriate. Yeah. In today's world, it's economically appropriate. Why am I so bullish on shared housing? And I'm also bullish on my version of shared housing. Because of a platform like PadSplit, because of people like Pace Morby, because people are broadcasting the awareness of it. 2 years ago,
Yeah.
nobody talked about co-living. Nobody.
Nope.
Everybody was talking about
Airbnb.
Airbnb,
Yep.
and they were talking about midterm rentals,
Yep.
traveling nurses. Like I
Yep.
know all these guys, like Jesse Vasquez, a buddy of mine, like shout out to him because he made a business out of and he brought it to the forefront, right?
Yeah.
So if you're the baton carrier or the flag carrier for this movement, more people are coming to it.
Yep.
The more people that come, the less operators there are. Like
Correct.
every business is 80-20. 80% of all the profit is made by 20% of the operators.
Correct.
That's real. But the whole thing is lifted and floated by the 80% of the people. Like just think about your communities that you pay for. 80% of those people are paying $8,000 to $10,000 per every community, but only 20% of the people are doing transactions.
Correct.
Okay. So it happens in every single world. Like in my world of coaching, I'm new. The people that I work with are doers because I have an affinity for the doers. But if I want to make a living out of this, I need to coach more new people, right? And hopefully convert them to doers, but be accepting of the fact that not everybody's going to do.
True.
And I have a hard time with that because I'm like, I got the Navy SEALs idea. You go, I go, like you're coming with me, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is that that's how businesses run.
Yeah, it's true.
So it doesn't mean 80% of my portfolio is going to fail, but I'm saying me relative to the Peloton, I can win because I know that 80% of the people are not going to win. Again, analogies because I'm a moron. If you and I were running away from a bear.
I was just going to talk about running. Okay, yes, because I was a runner.
If you and I were running away from a bear.
I would lose.
Mostly because I would push you.
My husband says that all the time. There's a zombie apocalypse. He's like, I'm sorry, honey, but you're going to die early.
Like, you don't have to be the fastest runner. You just can't be the slowest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And these stupid analogies are so real, but the thing is, it's so attainable.
Yes.
I do not need to become the next Pace Morby.
No,
I just need to find a community of people that are like, yeah, I'm interested in doing this.
Yep.
You reduce the time and increase my likelihood of profitability. That's my marketing message, right? Same thing for you. Is like, I don't need to serve the whole world. I just need a small niche of you guys that are actually going to do what we say and then turn around and give a testimonial against it. And then the next person, because every win is one person going from yesterday and then transforming to today.
Yep.
Like I've literally spent a year learning the coaching business because just like I spent 5 years learning co-living.
Yeah.
It's a new business to me. I still have to learn. Man, I suck at digital marketing. I am the worst landing page funnel creation, Russell Brunson listening, Alex Hormozy podcast listening.
Dude,
I'm like,
I'm so overwhelmed with all the people.
All of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I have friends like my friend Vivian Yip. She's like, she does midterm rentals. And she's like, such a doer. And
Yeah.
she's like, oh my God, you just need to do this funnel that leads to this landing page and it's the numbers. I'm like, nah. I'm like, can I outsource that? Like, and I'm like, can I just talk into a
I'm like, can I
camera?
do it with AI? Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. So I did
Yeah.
AI and I did some like thumbnails for my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, I get more and more Vietnamese looking because when I looked at my chat, it goes Quentin Nguyen. I was like, no, it's Quentin Went. Like, what are we doing? I was like, come on, dude, that doesn't look like me.
Oh, funny. I did an AI thing with my voice with 11 Labs. They
Yeah.
made me sound Spanish. I'm like, how did that happen?
Ooh, that's
No,
dude.
my
You know
laptop's
we've
about
been on the phone for an hour.
I know.
That's how fast it goes.
It does.